Can the Middle East achieve net zero emissions targets? Imagine a region famous for oil and gas leading the way in clean energy. That's the challenge and the opportunity facing the Middle East today. Many countries in this area have set goals to reach net zero emissions by around the year 2050 or 2060. But what does that really mean for a place so tied to fossil fuels? The Middle East holds about half of the world's known crude oil reserves and around 40% of natural gas reserves. These resources have powered the region's economies for decades, providing jobs and government income. Moving away from oil and gas is a big change that could shake up their economic models and social systems. It's a tricky balance between maintaining growth and protecting the environment. Right now, the region's per-person emissions are among the highest globally, with each person releasing about 13 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent every year. That's nearly double what people in Europe produce. Most of these emissions come from energy use and industry, which makes cutting back a big challenge. To reach net zero, they need to cut emissions from these sectors significantly. Luckily, the Middle East has a lot of natural advantages for renewable energy. Countries like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman have vast sunny areas perfect for solar power. Wind energy is also promising in some coastal regions. They are investing heavily in solar farms, with projects that can produce thousands of megawatts of electricity. For example, the United Arab Emirates has a solar plant that generates over 1,000 megawatts, enough to power hundreds of thousands of homes. In addition to solar and wind, these countries are exploring new technologies like green hydrogen, which is made using renewable energy to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. Green hydrogen can replace natural gas in industries and transportation. They are also developing carbon capture, utilization, and storage systems to trap emissions from factories and power plants. These efforts are essential because some sectors, like heavy industry and aviation, are harder to decarbonize. Policy measures are also playing a role. Many countries are creating carbon markets to encourage companies to reduce emissions. These markets put a price on carbon, making it more costly to pollute and more attractive to invest in cleaner options. Some nations are offering incentives for renewable energy projects and setting strict efficiency standards. International cooperation is growing. The Middle East is participating in global climate talks and hosting major summits, such as the Conference of the Parties in Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. These gatherings help share knowledge, attract climate finance, and bring in new technologies. Despite these positive signs, there are hurdles. Some emissions from international flights and shipping are not always included in national targets. Also, many countries still plan to use some hydrocarbons even as they aim for net zero, because their economies depend heavily on oil and gas exports. In the end, the Middle East has the resources and the motivation to make a shift. With continued investments in renewable energy, smart policies, and international support, reaching net zero emissions is possible. It will require steady effort, but the region's potential to transform its energy future is clear.